Hi everyone, welcome to part 3 of my Elementor short course. In this video we are going to build a home page and add content. I will be going into some more detail and we will cover default fonts and colors, adding a slider and adding various widgets and content items to your page. I will also show you how to save various items as templates and global widgets so that you can reuse them throughout your website. If you have not done so already, I recommend that you watch part 1 and part 2 of this series first, as I will start where I left off in part 2. If you are looking for help on specific Elementor functions, you can check the description for a complete overview of what I will cover in this video, with links to skip directly to that topic. Right, let's get started. I assume that you are logged into your WordPress backend and you have your pages created, which we covered in part 1. Navigate to Pages, All Pages, and click your home page. Then edit with Elementor. You should now see a blank page with a header, navigation, and footer, which we created in part 2. The first thing we need to do is disable the default page title. To do that, click the little cog icon in the bottom left corner and set hide title to yes. Next we will set our default fonts and colors for the website. To do this, click the menu icon in the top left corner, then click default colors. You can either select from the ready-made colors below or just set your own. I will leave mine as is, so set yours to whatever you like and click apply. Once saved, click the menu icon again to go back and click on default fonts. Another great feature of Elementor is the built-in Google Fonts. Select your preferred fonts and click apply. Then click on the menu item to go back and select the color picker. The color picker is great for setting other colors that you are going to use on your website. You can set your default colors here, as well as any additional colors which you would like to use. Note that this is not the same as the default colors option. The default colors will be applied automatically to your elements. The color picker is used if you would like to change any colors on elements throughout the site. This will make more sense when we start using it later on. Select your colors and then click apply. Finally, let's set the default content width for our website. Click the menu icon, Global Settings, then set your default width. I will set mine to 1350 pixels. This will update in real time, so you will not see the apply button. We are now done with our default options, so let's move on to creating our slider. Click the menu icon again, then the back arrow. Note that the slider widget is only available in the Pro version of Elementor. If you don't have it already, you will find a link in the description to purchase. Search for the slides widget and drag it onto your page. You will notice that the slider takes on the width you set in the previous step. But what if you want to set your slider to full width? You will not find this setting on the widget itself, but rather on the section properties. Hover over the section and select it. On the left in the section properties, set the content width to full width. Otherwise, you can just leave it as is if that's your preference. Next, let's remove all the padding around the slider. For this, you have to select the column. This can quickly get confusing since you have to set different options on either the section, column, or widget. Just remember that most of the time, the additional padding will come from the column. Select your column, then click Advanced in the column properties, and enter 0 in the first padding block. This will change all the blocks to 0 since they are linked together. Once you are happy with the slider layout, let's go back to our slider properties. You can either click the pencil icon in the top right corner of the slider, or right click and select Edit Slides. Both these options works for any widget in Elementor. Once selected, you can now add images to your slides, add or remove slides, and style the slider according to preference. Once you have styled one widget in Elementor, it is really simple to style others, since the general options will be very similar. Just a note on slider images. Ensure that you resize and optimize your images before uploading them to your website. If you are using a full width slider, ensure that your images are wide enough, even for high resolution screens. I generally make my slide image width around 2000 pixels. Let's style our slider. Once you are happy with your new slider, we can continue to the rest of the page. Let's start with our heading. On the widget dashboard, drag the heading widget onto your page and style the heading according to preference. Here's a pro tip. You are very likely to use the same heading style on multiple pages. Since you don't want to style the heading each time, you can simply save this section as a template and reuse it when you like. To do this, hover over the heading until you see the section controls. Right-click the middle icon and click Save as Template. Give it an appropriate name and click Save. Then close the library. You can do this with any section that you would like to reuse, and is something that will save you a lot of time. If you would like to reuse the template, simply click the folder icon in the widget area. Click My Templates. Look for your template, in this case main heading, and insert. And then yes. You can see that it now inserts your heading with the same styling. I'll remove this for now. Let's add some more widgets to our home page. You can add whatever you like here and play around with the available widgets. I will add the text editor, the button, counter, price table, and call to action widgets to my page. You can first add your widgets, then configure it and style them afterwards. Note that you don't have to add each widget to its own section. You can also add them below each other. Another pro tip, let's take the counter widget for example. If you would like, say 4 of them in a row, you can style the first one, then right click the column and click duplicate. Another pro tip, I'm sure you've seen other websites where the background image scrolls up and down as you scroll your mouse up and down. This is easy to achieve in Elementor. I'll use the section where I added the counter widgets for the example. Select the section. I'll change the minimum height to 250 pixels. Then add a background image to the section. Now simply select Attachment, Fixed. You will now see that the section background will remain fixed when scrolling up and down. You can also set the position of the image as required. Now as you can see here, the text isn't very visible. So another pro tip is to add a background overlay. So select Background Overlay, Classic, and then simply select a color to overlay with. Then you can play around with the colors and transparency. While we are working with widgets, I quickly want to explain global widgets. A global widget is useful if you are going to reuse one of your widgets throughout your website. This is beneficial for when you want to edit the widget, but you don't want to change it on each page. You can just edit the global one. To save a widget as global, right-click on it and click Save as a Global. Then give it a name. Once saved, you will find it on your widget dashboard under the Global tab. You can then drag it onto the page like any other widget. Just a note on global widgets. This only works where it will always remain the same. For example, saving a heading as a global widget won't really work, because say you change the text of a global widget on one page, it will change it on all the pages where you've used that global widget. For things like headings and other text, you will rather save it as a template, which I showed you earlier in the video. Okay, let's complete the rest of our page styling. Once you are done, click Publish or Update if you have already published the page. My last pro tip for this video: if you would like to see what your page will look like, you can minimize the editor by clicking the left arrow on the editor toolbar. This will remove all the editor spacing and functionality to give you a proper page preview. To get the editor back, just click the arrow again. Our website is starting to come together nicely. In part 4, we will create our inner pages, including a Contact Us page with an inquiry form and a Google map. In part 5 after that, which is also the final part, we will make our website responsive. Thanks for watching. Until then, cheers for now.